Assuming the role of the G20 presidency, Indonesia is indeed in a tough spot at the moment as the world is torn by the Russia-Ukraine conflict. However, Ukraine's ambassador to Indonesia, Vasyl Hamianin, has asked Indonesia to help push for peace in the Russia-Ukraine war.
Furthermore, Ambassador Vasyl confirmed that banks have blocked transactions from Indonesia to Ukraine, as the ambassador has asked Indonesian legislators to lift the block.
Are continuing their efforts to urge Russia to stop their war and invasion on Ukraine. As part of these efforts, Ukraine's ambassador to Indonesia, Vasyl Hamianin, met with legislators from the Nasdem party at the official home of the deputy head of the Indonesian People's Consultative Assembly, Lestari Murdijat. According to Ambassador Vasyl, Indonesia has the power and influence to make concrete actions to end Russia's war against Ukraine, especially since Indonesia is assuming the role of G20 presidency this year.
So Indonesia, like a global player now, as the president of G20, I think it is capable, it can, and it absolutely free to do a lot of things to bring the peace into Ukraine as soon as possible. And I think that it is capable and able to do a lot of tangible, I would call it tangible things, concrete things, which will have the could be political, could be military, and could have the humanitarian dimensions. This is up to Indonesian government to decide.
Meanwhile, during this meeting with Indonesian legislators, Ukrainian delegates also urged Indonesian financial authorities to ease financial transactions between Ukraine and Indonesia. According to Ambassador Vasyl, 3 Indonesian banks were having issues receiving and sending money to and from Ukraine, namely the Mandiri Bank, BCA Bank, and BNI Bank.
And now at present we faced a big problem, which I don't know the origin of this, but the problem is that no one can transfer the money from Indonesian bank to Ukrainian bank, because we visited, I think, 4 or 5 banks, including, well, we have the account in Mandiri Bank, then BCA and some others, and they just refuse to accept the payments. And it's interesting. I don't see any reasons for that, and they just refuse to talk. They just refuse to explain why. So it will be a great help from Indonesian side, maybe to explain what's going on, because Ukraine is not under sanctions of any country.
Officials from BNI Bank confirmed that sending money from Indonesia to Ukraine is not possible at the moment. To send money to Ukraine, Bank BNI works together with correspondent banks, and those banks have completely stopped transactions to both Russia and Ukraine. Hence, Ukraine's Ambassador Vasyl has asked Indonesian legislators to help lift this financial transaction block between Indonesia to Ukraine, so that Indonesians can send contributions to Ukrainians who are suffering due to the war.